Faith Warriors, welcome back to the channel. We are back with another one of our favorite soups. And as you can see, I've already browned my ground turkey. I have sauteed my onions with garlic, and I've already added in a can of tomatoes. To that, we are now going to add some Prego. It's delicious. Basically 1 jar of the Prego we're going to add to it. And then once we get the Prego in there, we're going to stir it up a little bit, get it kind of mixed in there, get that goodness going. And from there, we are going to add 1 container, I think this is 32 ounces, of beef broth. It's organic. So whenever I have to use the broth, I try to get the beef also included in there. And then once we get all of that poured in, we are then going to start adding our seasonings into this, which basically is Italian seasonings. So we're going to start with some basil leaves, and I'm just going to sprinkle some of that goodness right into our pot. And then from there, we're going to be adding in, make sure you get enough in there too, guys. We're going to be adding in some onion powder. I'm just going to layer this. Adding in our onion powder, and from our onion powder, we will then be layering in some Italian seasoning. Make sure you get plenty of that goodness in there because that's what give it kind of, the Italian flavor. And then once we put our Italian seasoning in, we're gonna add some garlic powder. So we've had 2 different powders, the onion powder and the garlic powder. And so just load that up in there because we just want this to be delicious. And then we're gonna add 3 bay leaves in there. That's gonna give it some oomph, if you know what I mean. And then we're gonna just stir it all up. Make sure everything is in there. All of the different seasonings that we layered on there. Make sure all of the flavoring is through everything, that it's all incorporated. And then once it is incorporated, we will shortly be adding the star of the show. Before we started, I had already cooked my lasagna pasta, and I probably used about 3, and then I break them down into smaller pieces to go into the soup. And so that's what you see me doing. I am now just layering them in to the soup, kind of separating them. And once I get all of them in there, I will then let it simmer for about 15 minutes or so. We're just gonna stir it all up. I'm trying to get all that yumminess. And I'm just gonna stir them up also in there, kind of mix them in there. And we will then prep what I normally eat on the side with this. So lately, I've kind of hipped the girls to pita bread, flatbread pita bread, and it's whole wheat. And so I am going to prepare some butter that we softened up, and I'm just gonna take the garlic salt, I'm gonna put it over it, and then I'm just gonna mix it, blend it in all together, and create a spread that we normally put on our garlic toast. This is how we make our garlic toast. So we just create our own. And once I complete that, it should look like this. And then this is the pita bread I've prepped, and this is what it looks like, the finished product. So what you're looking at also, that is Parmesan, that shredded Parmesan cheese. You normally can get those in a container at the grocery store. And I've put it on there. Now you see me struggling because basically I'm just only trying to eat half of the bread, or half of the pita. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes that I let this simmer, and now I am going to remove the bay leaves. Make sure you do that. Those are not nice to try and eat, even when they've been cooked. But relieve the bay leaves out of the soup. And I remembered I put 3 in there, so I know I have to find 3. Of course, you guys, I was fishing, trying to find that last little bay leaf, but eventually I found it. And so now I've already put my soup in the bowl, and I am just gonna garnish it with some more of that shredded Parmesan cheese. Yeah, this is the perfect topping. And actually, you can use the other like granulated Parmesan cheese. It has the same effect on this. And so, yeah, I'm just gonna give this a stir. And then, of course, I'm gonna try it. You guys, this is so delicious. When I say it's lasagna in a bowl, that's exactly what it is. Lasagna in a bowl. You have to try this. Let me know in the comments if this is something you think you're gonna try.